What's up, guys? It's Mr. Fit to Flourish, and going into the 2025 year, of course, we have growth mindset on this channel. So we are traders, we are entrepreneurs, we're doctors, pharmacists, engineers, all that good stuff. Growth mindset here, okay? So we're continuing to grow on a day-to-day basis. You are fit physically, spiritually, mentally, and financially. So going into 2025, we want to set goals. Okay, and this video is going to be a pretty quick breakdown on how I set my goals and how I'm setting my goals for 2025 and how I set my goals for 2024 and pretty much knocked out quite a few of these. It's anywhere from 70 to about 75% of these goals this year, just by setting them, setting that intention, being consistent, having the discipline, and focusing in, locking in on who I needed to become in order to achieve these things. So in terms of setting goals, I know we all have financial goals. We have goals of like who we want to be, where we want to be, what kind of things we want to have. A lot of the times it's really what things we want to have. Like, oh, I want that body, or I want to lose this much weight. A lot of it is like number type of things. So the easiest way to kind of get towards these goals is to create the goal and then focus on when you write these goals down. So I like to have on mine, I like to have 10 to 20 things. So my last year's goal card here, so my 2024 goals, I had 20 goals, a total of 20 goals. And some of them were behaviors, but most of them were physical items or things that I wanted to accomplish and obtain. Okay, so first I write those goals down. I write them all down. A lot of them, you want to make them achievable. So something that you can achieve within 2 to 3 to maybe 4 months. You want to make most of them achievable. And then some of them you can make pretty outlandish. Like, for instance, like if you're someone who makes less than 6 figures a year, but you want to have like a mansion or a yacht or something, that's okay. Put it on your goal list, because the only way that you can reach the sky, the only way you can get to the sky is if you reach for the moon. So on the way to the moon, you're going to get something. You're going to get something pretty major. So usually your expectations is what's going to yield your results. If you expect not to get anywhere close to making 6 figures, then you're not going to make it. So the only things that you can accomplish are what you think is possible to accomplish. It's all in your mind. So set your goals. Set some that are very achievable, 2 to 3 months, and then set just a little bit of them that are going to be super outlandish, that might not be possible quickly, but can potentially happen through a sequence of events. Okay, that the universe will take you to through divine timing. Right. Anyway, so that's what I did. So I set up a ton of goals that I can pretty much achieve, and then the very next thing that I did was I sat down, and I like to write out my goals. So that's why I have this sheet of paper that I write them out with, and then I kind of keep them close to me. But I'm not always like looking at it and checking it. Like some people say, oh, look at your goals all the time. I think if you keep looking at them, it kind of gets you in that for most people, it gets you in that separation mindset, that lack mindset. Like, oh, dang, I haven't gotten there yet. But for me, I just set the intention of, I write them down. I set the intention of, okay, I know I'm going to get there. I'm not going to look at them. I'll look at them like maybe later in the year, like, oh, dang, look how much I've accomplished. But after I write them down, set the intention, and I focus on the behaviors that are going to get me to those goals. So not necessarily like, oh, what steps do I have to take to get this? Like I have to write, like make an LLC, and then I have to pay the money, and then I have to go to this group. No. Focus on the behaviors, the consistent behaviors on a day-to-day basis that the person who has these things are doing. So for instance, if one of your goals is, hey, next year I want to have a profitable business or an additional stream of income. Well, the person who has a business or a stream of income, they probably have a skill. They probably have a skill that they're marketing or a skill that they are teaching. So in order to have a skill, you've got to be learning every day and day in and day out in order to be a master of that skill, right? You got to be practicing that thing on a day-to-day basis. So the actionable step that I would take is, okay, every day I'm probably going to Books A Million, grabbing a coffee, and I'm reading day in and day out, kind of learning about this subject. That's my actionable behavior. That's the behavior that I'm going to be doing on a day-to-day basis. Reading for 10 minutes before I go to sleep on X, Y, and Z topic. Or meeting up with others, getting a mentor, and meeting up with the mentor 30 minutes every week, consistently building that discipline, because that's the type of person I need to be in order to get to the level and have the things that I want to have. X, Y, and Z. Okay. Or if one of your goals, I know someone had mentioned to me, oh, like I want to build my credit. I want to build my credit. Okay. Well, what are the habits of someone who is building their credit or who has good credit? What is their, excuse me, what habits do they have? They're paying their bills on time. They're focusing in on creating an Excel sheet that tracks their spending. They're tracking their spending on a day-to-day basis. So they're becoming aware. It's someone who's very aware of how much they're spending day in and day out and how much they're making day in and day out, and they're tracking these items. So one thing I did last year, I wanted to take my credit to the next level, and I learned a ton about credit. Shout out to Joey's Jet on Instagram. Y'all follow Joey's Jet, JoeysJet on Instagram. Joined his mastermind and learned a ton about credit. And I was like, you know what? I could take this to the next level. So this year I had a lot of credit goals in terms of obtaining certain credit cards, advantages, getting free rooms in Miami on the beach, things like that. I accomplished a lot of those goals by every day this year. At least towards the beginning, I kind of slacked off, and I'm going to pick back up in 2025. But every day in the beginning of the year, I was tracking on a day-to-day basis exactly how much I was spending. And the way that I did that was like I created an Excel sheet, and every time I had to pay for something, I had to manually put it into an Excel sheet. And it minimized how much I was spending because I became consciously aware of, okay, I'm going to spend today, so I have to put it in. I was like, sometimes I would go to the store and I'd be like, oh, I want some of those cookies. And I know that's like not good. Like that's cheating. Like cheat days, we don't do carbs. But I'm like, oh, I want those cookies. But then I knew that I would have to type in what kind of cookies they were, how much they cost, where I got them. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to write all that in. So I'd be in the store, I'd pick it up, and I'd be like, oh, I'm going to have to document this. So I put it back down, and I was like, I'm not spending. So it really limited my spending. I became more aware of my habits and my spending. So be aware of the habits that are going to be required in order to get the things that you want to have. So after you write down your intentions, your desires, be unattached to them. Be unattached and really focus in on who you need to be. So if your goal is, hey, I want to be famous, or hey, I want to have an online presence, I want to be big and make money online. Hey, what is a person who's big and making money online doing? Just kind of model after some of the people who are already doing it. Like, for instance, like a Kai Cenat, a lot of people know, did like a Mafia-thon streaming type thing on one of those streaming websites. And what is he doing? Every day he's online. Every day he's posting. Okay, that consistency, that discipline to post every day. He's engaging with different companies, engaging with different people. Okay, putting himself out there. Positive energy. Not worrying about what other people are thinking. So that's actually one of the biggest things too. If you want to get to the next level, you can't be focused on what other people are constantly thinking or judging you about. Because Floyd Mayweather had a clip where he said it. Whether you're doing good, people are going to judge you. If you're doing bad, people are still going to judge you. So you might as well do what you love with that loving and caring and abundant intention, okay, and attitude. All right. So the biggest thing to take away from this is, hey, when you're setting your goals for the next year, you want to write down the things that you want. Okay, it's okay to have these desires. Okay, and things that you need to do to get there. Okay, focus more on the actions of what you would need to do, and really the behaviors that you would need to exemplify in order to be that person. Okay. So like I said, you want to be big on YouTube. Well, you're going to be someone who's studying on a day-to-day basis, marketing tactics. You're going to be someone who doesn't care about what other people think. You're going to have that loving intention. You're going to love to do what you do. You're going to love to post every day. You're going to post consistently. You're going to be disciplined in that sense. Just the behaviors. So focus on the behaviors to get to where you want to get. And that's really what last year in the first 2 to 3 months, I literally knocked out 70% of this list. And it was like I turned around, and because I was so focused on becoming the person as opposed to, let me knock out these goals. It was like, no, what would this person be like already if these things happened already? Like how would I think? What would I do every day? And I turned around and literally all my goals were accomplished. And I was like, oh, dang, I probably should have made loftier goals or more goals, but it gave me that confidence to continue throughout the year. And then even going into next year, it gives me that confidence to strive and reach for more. So hopefully this helps somebody out there. When you're setting your goals, set 10 to 20. I would say about 25% of them are what most people deem unrealistic. Divine timing will take you there, I promise, because some of these were impossible, and I freaking got there through my intention, my desires, and just meeting the right people, and events just fell in place through belief, okay? So be the person that you want to be, focusing on your present moment awareness and feeling into the person that you desire to be. Good morning, welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Let's talk wellness, finance, and growth.